I sent you that invitation for the...
Meeting will come to order, please. The notice requirements of the Open Public Meetings Act for this meeting have been satisfied. A copy of the annual meeting notice was sent to the press. The Down Beach Courier posted on the bulletin board in the municipal building, on the municipal website, filed in the office of the municipal clerk. Will you take a second, turn off all electronic equipment as we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? Attention, salute. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Call the roll, please, John.
Mayor Becker?
Here.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Here.
Commissioner Blumberg?
For the record, Commissioner Blumberg has the great chore that he's excited about, going down to, South Carolina? Picking up his two daughters, bringing his two sweethearts back for the summer. So he's unable to be at our meeting, for the record.
Thank you. First, I'd like to introduce Mr. Leon Costello. If you're wondering who's sitting here, Leon is our auditor and a good friend. Welcome to Margate.
Thank you.
Lisa, the introduction of the 2016 audit, please.
Yes, good afternoon. As you know, the 2016 audit has been complete. A copy has been sent to each of the three commissioners for your review. I'd like to point out that at a minimum, you're required to review the comments and findings, which are located in the back of the report. But I'm also pleased to report that for, I believe it's the third year in a row, Margate has no findings. I do recommend that you do review the report. And after review at next meeting, then we will take action to formally accept the audit. And as such, I still will file a corrective action plan stating that there were no findings and no action needs to be taken. If you have any questions
John, you have
on
anybody?
anything?
I have none. Anybody? Anybody have questions?
Yeah,
Leon?
and just to let you know that we had an extensive exit review with Rich and Lisa to go over the audit in detail, probably for an hour and a half, 2 hours, I guess. Going over a lot of topics. Future planning also was very much the part of the discussion. And as Lisa mentioned, there are no formal findings and recommendations, which is great. And the financial position is very stable. And we are looking forward.
Thank you for all you do, Leon.
Leon, are there, if we go out to, we're not going out to bonding soon, I don't believe, but if we were to do that, would there be anything of any concern to the bond rating agencies? That
None whatsoever. In fact, you should, if you don't hold at least your rating, you probably go up one. And we do have refunding in the works right now.
Yes.
That will save us some more money. That's well underway, and that should be priced soon. So we'll know the details of that. We don't know it today. By May 18th, we might.
do we take, I know that this commission authorized the refunding activity previously by formal action, which will lower the interest rates for the remaining bonds that are in the refunding ordinance. Does this commission have to take any further action?
No.
We
It's
just
all
re-
authorized,
We
yeah.
just report it to
The
them
results.
when it finally occurs and what our savings
Yes.
are.
Yep.
Good.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay. Thank you, Lisa and Leon.
Thank you.
We will go now to department head reports. And why don't we start with the left? Scott, you want to go first today?
Okay, well, Mayor, as you know, we have a number of things. Can you hear me back there? We good? All right. We have finally got to print version our revised storm water or flood hazard ordinance. And I think we've proofed it, but this will be the introduction. We're just making some amendments to try to keep pace with some of the developments in our flood prevention efforts. So we have that one. We also have an ordinance to amend our water code so that it's real clear as to what hours of operation you can water your lawn and not water your lawn. I know we had passed that last year. Apparently there was some confusion as to some of the dates or times. That is now rectified. one other thing that I've been putting a fair amount of effort in, as I know that you have, has to do with resolution number 97, where we're going to accept a quitclaim deed for what is known as lot 2.03 of block 528. And I brought a aerial photograph. I wanted to show this to you and let you know it was available, and let the public know if they ever want to take a look at it. I think eventually what I'm going to try to do is get some of these for our historic society. As you know, we're talking about the bulkhead problems that we have on Amherst Avenue, and we're going to be doing some repair work in, what, about 3 weeks? I think we're going to be doing
Actually, you're gonna
some
start tomorrow. I mean, next week rather,
Put
you'll
this in
start.
front of you, is what I have to put it somewhere. So, I just wanted to show you, this is called a Fairchild photograph. It was taken in 1920. It was part of a military project. It is relevant to the quitclaim deed that I'm asking you to, by resolution, authorize the acceptance of it. As you know, Integrity Marina was purchased by somebody else, and the bulkhead's in bad shape. The issue came up, whose bulkhead is it? In fact, that issue has come up and down Amherst Avenue. And for the most part, with Joanna Casey's help, we researched the city records, and we found that in 1928, the city of Margate built not only the bulkhead, but Amherst Avenue. It had all been tidal flowed. It was water. So when you look at this 1920 aerial photography, which is taken from 5,000 feet, they didn't even know this photography existed until about 8 years ago, when a guy working at Vicksburg, Mississippi Army Corps headquarters found them in a drawer. The inventor's name was Fairchild. He had 70 patents. He became the largest stockholder of Xerox. I just love all these details. I know it's history, but it's history, and it's Margate history. And so what the end result was, they found these, and now I have it through the efforts of Stu Farrell. If you look, Amherst Avenue stopped at Washington Avenue. There was no Amherst Avenue where Maynard's is, where Sophia's is. It was water. If you look closely, and I'll leave this out so you can take a look at it, just don't walk off with it, Mr. Sewell. And if you look here, you'll see it stops. And so what the city of Margate did, they actually spent the money of $68,000, a lot of money. I always thought it was probably a Depression era program, but it wasn't. They built Amherst Avenue, they built this bulkhead that we now have to repair, and they filled all this in and created Amherst Avenue. Now, in 1991, Margate vacated a portion. Oh, and by the way, they bought it from the state with a repairing grant. I left that one out too. Margate actually went to the state of New Jersey. As you know, that's my thing, repairing. And they bought it from the state of New Jersey. And then they built Amherst Avenue. And then the marinas came. And they got additional grants, but not from the city of Margate. So that when 1991, when we vacated, the city vacated a portion of it where Integrity is. Normally it goes to the adjoining property owner. But in this instance, it really didn't, because it was Margate's property. Margate had a deed, which was a repairing grant. So to end the confusion, and there was a lot of confusion, I remember when Joanna was in the tax office, we should talk about how screwed up these property records were. The owner of the current marina has quitclaim deed over those spaces, that property in there. And so where it now currently says private property, private parking, it's going to be public parking. You've actually created more parking in one of our heaviest commercial districts. Of course, we're dealing with the bulkhead problem too, but I know Mr. Deeney had insisted that I get that deed, so there's no question. We got it. I thought you'd love to see what it looked like before the bulkhead was built. And this is Margate. This is South Atlantic. They changed the name in, 1907. Can I entertain a question here, Mr. Mayor?
Only because,
It's the mayor. Yes, the mayor.
Through the chair.
Good, it's the mayor.
You have to ask permission.
what is your questions?
I just wondered, like, you would want like, sort of a, I don't know what you would call it, a cul-de-sac or whatever, those cuts, they weren't just there.
Oh, you mean in the bay? No, that's 1939 they make this.
It looks like there's something there, no?
Yeah, that's the island that they cut.
They'll keep going over.
Here? No. This is Longport. This is water.
Over here. On the far right of the picture, that looks like it's cut.
That's
in there.
Sunset Lagoon. That's Thurlow Avenue.
Okay, and that's what that looks like.
That's Sunset Lagoon.
That's Sunset Lagoon,
You
and that's-
live here, Steve. Your house is
Yeah,
about
and
there.
that's what's called the raceway, which was later filled in.
Yeah.
But how did that come, did somebody dredge that out, or?
Yeah, Great Atlantic Development Company, about 1908, dredged all that out,
dredged it
created
out?
those
Yeah,
lots.
Put some bulkheads there then?
And they did look at a lot of it, yeah.
Well, they would have had to, or it would
So,
All right, your
what
question.
you'd like to know the
Sit down.
background of why we're accepting a deed. Normally, it's,
Your-
they're asking for it.
Your 3 minutes is almost
I'm
up.
done, I'm sorry. I
So
thought the public would like to know too.
the end result is we're gaining parking spots?
Yeah, we're gonna do it in about, what, Eddie, 9 or 10
Great
parking
news.
spots there.
Yeah.
Ready to put those signs up?
Listen, that's great news.
Suppose it
is good
doesn't
news.
pass.
I think it's good.
So we have to compliment our solicitor for his efforts and his hard work
Good job, Scott.
doing all this research.
What's that?
Scott, you're missing it. Scott, you're missing it. You're getting compliments.
I know,
He does that all the
yeah.
time. Jimmy, you're next.
I'm still looking at the photo to find you.
I'll leave it here.
Oh,
to take
really?
it.
Oh, okay. Where are you working next week?
Got a job? Bring it back. We just saw a spike in our rentals in the last 2 weeks. Actually, last week when the new article went out about the beach project starting down in Ventnor, we got, I think, about 30 in just today alone. So I think that was a good positive input that we got on the press. So
There's always tomorrow, Jim. That schedule changes daily.
anyhow, we're processing them. A lot of beachfront properties. I think we had 7 or 8 just come in alone just for beachfront properties, and a lot of high-rise. So that's a good sign. There's a resolution in here authorizing a shared services agreement with the city of Atlantic City to do our elevator inspections. We're not using the state anymore. We're going to see a 20% increase on our fees just on that alone. That should be somewhere around $1,600. So that's a good.
Just clarify that the fees are not going up.
No,
Just make sure that.
we're going to get 20% back. We didn't get any fees back. The state took all our money. We didn't get any money from the state on our elevator inspections. But now we're going to get a 20% back payment for the inspections that take place for elevators. We're looking forward to working with the state. working with Atlantic City on this. And if anybody has any questions, you can call me tomorrow and we can talk about it. That's all I have.
Thank you, Jim. Roger?
Thank you, Mayor and Commissioners. Zoning's been pretty busy. Everyone's trying to get in before Memorial Day, so the inspection sign-up sheet is pretty long right now. Also, we took bids for janitorial services. There's 3 bidders. The parent low bidder asked to withdraw his bid when he found out he did a mathematical error. So it's a second low bidder, which is probably where it should be anyway. So that's my recommendation. Pretty busy in Ventnor, too.
They're gonna be real busy.
It's all going well. Well, no comment.
No comment needed. Ed?
Okay, the projects that are under construction, Winchester Avenue, they're scheduled to get in there next week to start grading. They should be done for their May 17th deadline. The road program contractor is scheduled to start paving the roads that are completed on May 15th, and will continue doing their work. Their contract project completion date is actually much later because of the legal issue we had with awarding the contract, but we're pushing them to get done as soon as possible. The bulkhead access, beach bulkhead access at Brunswick is essentially complete. It hasn't been opened yet because we haven't opened them for the summer yet, but that'll be usable. And we will start on Monday with the bulkhead repair on Amherst Avenue by the old Integrity Marine. Gladstone Avenue water tank is essentially done also. There are some punch list items, landscaping items, and a few paint touch-ups that need to be done. And and the pickleball courts are, again, essentially complete. They're not accepted yet. There are a couple little bird baths we're going to try to get taken care of, but they should be usable in the near future.
Thank you, Ed. Rich?
know, the budget is on the agenda. We'll be talking about that at the, at the regular meeting. Both Lisa and Leon are here to go over and answer any questions you may have or the public might have. In addition to that, other than things that have been said already, there's a resolution on the agenda accepting the seasonal employee handbook, and it's been updated. It was first done on, or looked at in 2014. This is an update of that version, and it includes a lot of language that has been recommended by our joint insurance fund, and I thank the people who worked on it. It was headed up by Joanne Ciota. If you have any questions on that, please let us know. We'll get this distributed to the department heads so that they can get it distributed to the seasonal employees as we start our summer season.
Is that it? Thank you. Chief?
Everything's good. I have nothing to report.
Thank you. John, do you want to report for the fire department?
Yes, Mayor, I would like to mention that a couple weeks ago, we had a fire that our fire department was called to. I believe the address is 100 South Washington Avenue. It's on the corner of 100 South Iroquois. I'm thinking of 1 South Washington. 100 South Iroquois. It's a house located right on Atlantic and Iroquois Avenue on the beach block. The second time our fire department's been called to that same property over a several-year period. It was definitely an electrical fire, extensive damage in the house, but they responded quickly. A passerby, someone just walking, smelt an odor and looked down the alley and called 911. So by the time they got there, they were able to control it. And again, I said the whole house was consumed in smoke. I visited it after dispatch had called me to let me know that it was a working fire in progress in Margate, and I happened to be close by. So I want to compliment our fire department for a job well done. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, John. Lisa?
Yes, the city held an auction through GovDeals, which closed on April 10th. And as such, 9 assets were sold, primarily vehicles, a couple pieces of heavy equipment. And we realized a total of $49,085. All of the assets have been picked up, the sales have been completed, and I actually received the final payment today, effective today. Our asset schedules were updated, removed from the insurance, et cetera. So the GovDeals is a great vehicle that we use for conducting our audits, and actually Fred is responsible for implementing that probably about 9 years ago, so runs very smoothly. It's the only thing I wanted to report on.
Thank you, Lisa. Johanna?
Okay, we had our auction for the municipal parking lots. All 18 spots were auctioned off at $200 apiece, which went to business owners in the area. On the 13th of May, we have our rabies clinic in conjunction with Longport being held at the fire department on Washington Avenue. And on the 20th of May, we have our yard sale, with the rain date being the 21st. That's all I have to report.
Thank you. Fred, do you have anything?
Yes, I do. I'd like to report on the historic City Hall building.
28th?
The punch list items that I had left are now complete. The light is up in the courtroom,
Or Saturday?
and there's all new lighting in the elevator car. And the Historical Society with the library is almost finished setting up. They have an office upstairs. They're going to do a lot of data entry and get all their items ready for display. So with their technology person and myself, we created a small network for them that doesn't coincide with our network, so they're able to work in the building completely separate from the rest of the city's data structure. The only thing I ask is we're going to need to have some cleanup done around the building. Looks like the front area, there's a lot of, I guess, gum or whatever stuck out there, and this back entryway needs to be cleaned up, so I'm not sure who's in charge of the clean, is that us? Okay. And also the brick pointing for the windows that were leaking was finished. The guy did an excellent job. He fixed 3 of the windows. Just happened that the right around the keystones above the windows is where the openings were. So he did an excellent job on that, and I think we should probably find out from him what it would take to maybe clean up the rest of the brickwork. He did tell me that a lot of it didn't need a lot of brick pointing, just some cleaning of the bricks, and then maybe some type of coating over the top of them to preserve them a little better. So I told him we would get back to him and maybe sometime in the fall accomplish that.
Ed, why don't you put a package together? Okay, all right, go. All right.
And that's it for me.
Anything else, Fred?
That's it.
Okay. John?
Mayor, I have nothing.
Cool. Fred brought up this building there. We're pretty much almost ready to open. There'll be a dedication for both this room and the Historical Society on May 28th. Is that correct? At 2 o'clock. Oh, pardon me?
Saturday.
I think it's a Sunday. It's a Sunday afternoon. Okay. I have nothing else. At this point, we'll go to public comment. You know the routine, 3 minutes on anything that was discussed here today. Is there any public comment?
Steve Altman, 9003 Amherst Avenue, Margate. With regard to the playground on Union Avenue, the pickleball courts look good, and the fencing in of the children's play area is very attractive. However, the parking lot has been used for years in the event of hurricane. Has any consideration been done to either not allowing citizens to park there, or the fact that probably close to 12 or 15 parking spaces won't be accessible with the fencing that's gone up?
That is correct, Steve. We had talked about that before we began the program. We're aware that the parking lot will be open on an emergency basis.
And
you will not be able to park on the pickleball courts.
Okay.
Sorry.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Any other comment?
Hi, I'm Brian Teasdale. I live over on Wilson Avenue, 305 North Wilson. As regard to the coastal flooding, the ordinance that you have, we continue to get flooding on our street. Is there any preventative maintenance planned in that would deal directly with the flex valves at the end of the streets? Because right now ours isn't working properly and hasn't worked properly for a number of years actually, and it's getting worse. So we're getting flooding. It's backing up through as the tide comes up, and I've gone down there and actually looked at the different spots because I was told how it works. Excuse me.
Ed, you want to make an appointment and go down and look at that, see what?
We've already talked about it.
Yeah, we've gone through,
Okay.
the valves are at the end of their useful life, and we're gonna have to look at, and maybe I'll talk to Jim Rattal to see if there's any grant program. We funded them through a grant program 15 years ago, but they're at the point that we've replaced 2 or 3 of them so far, but they need to, we'll look for funding to replace those valves.
Okay. Well, I still have a couple minutes left here. We've had FEMA on our street a couple times already. They came up last year again. FEMA was up our street because of the extensive flooding, which actually getting into our crawl spaces. So I understand it, might be something you guys want to look into grant, but I think it's more of an emergency situation because we have no control when the storms are gonna come. So I think at least the ones that are having problems should be addressed immediately.
Yes, we've reached, Mayor, may I?
You may.
We've received many complaints of the neighbors along Fremont Avenue because they get it first, and then actually as the tide even gets higher, it comes down the street towards you guys.
Right.
And Ed and I have visited the site on numerous occasions because a lot of, meadow grass comes back up, clogs them, keeps them open. So as Ed said, the useful life of the flex valve itself
Right.
is useless. So we have to address that.
Yeah.
And it's not 100% going to cure the problem.
Right.
It's just going to maybe help it from really,
We have, it's increased over the last couple of years, because I've been there since '99. We've actually had it relatively no problem for quite a while. And then all of a sudden, we started having issues, and it started happening more and more. So in other words, whatever valve we have down there now, it's probably done, is what my point is. And I'm just concerned that if it doesn't get taken care of, and I know what you're saying, you're looking at it, but
No,
when you say
well-
you're looking at grants, I don't think waiting for a grant to change an $800 valve is worth, is what's
that's
waiting.
what I was going to ask.
They're
Yeah,
a little bit more than that.
Yeah.
Well, they're not, I know, my buddy actually has a company that puts them in, so,
Where is the valve?
at the end of
bank.
Wilson Avenue.
It goes through an easement. It goes down the end of Wilson, goes between two buildings. There's one there and one on Decatur.
Right.
There's two outfall pipes there, and both of them were replaced in that program.
What size?
I don't-
36, I think.
That's an expensive valve.
36, a 36-inch valve last year, or no, 42-inch valve at the end of Washington, we had, it broke, was $31,000.
Okay.
So, it's a little bit more than, that's what I'm saying, it's a little bit more than that. If it's a 36, I have to look at the storm pipe, but
It's
well,
either 24 or 36.
Yeah.
There's two of them there.
right.
But there's been a lot
Yes.
of damage to the houses there.
Oh, yeah,
already.
no,
It's-
We
it's a
we
lot more than
understand that.
31,000.
Bottom line is
Okay, I'm
we'll
just,
start the process.
I'm just trying to make, I just want to
well, taken.
express my urgency on it, not just, not just say it's.
We'll do the best we can.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thanks.
See what we can,
Yeah, remember we got it. That's Fremont Avenue.
Joan Naden, 8 North Quincy Avenue. Quick question. I was away for 3 weeks. Did I miss the shredding truck, or is it coming?
Yes, you did.
I missed it.
It was 3 Saturdays.
Seth, it was,
I wasn't here.
it was because of you we have a shredding program.
I know
and
that.
you missed it.
I did. I was
They
away.
asked for you that day, Jim.
I'll bet they did. Have to save it for another
Sorry.
year. You haven't scheduled the date for next year yet, have you?
Not yet. Anyone else?
Art Cotilli, 114 North Lancaster Avenue. Most people know that the school failed all 7 of its efficiency
Art,
items. This is
we
about the
really didn't
budget.
talk about the school.
This is about the budget.
Budget's at the next meeting.
Budget's next meeting, correct.
Oh,
Wait 5 minutes.
okay.
They'll still be
The
here.
budget has been
They'll
mentioned,
still
the
be here.
budget has been mentioned at this commission hearing.
But we run
But we didn't have a discussion.
If you bring it up, if you bring the budget
No,
up in
John.
any fashion, Arthur
We're-
is entitled to comment on it.
He can comment if
He can
want.
comment at
He
5
can
o'clock.
comment at 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock. I mean, if you bring it up, if you mention the budget, you have Ford Scott here, the mayor's and Tony.
There's a bit of a difference between mention and discuss.
Well, you're making it a distinction without a difference.
The
If you
difference is,
mention the budget, Arthur's entitled to comment.
please sit down. Please sit down. I mentioned the budget, only that it will be at the 5 o'clock meeting.
And
That's
you,
all.
and the
discussion.
mayor
John.
mentioned that he has his crony company here.
I don't remember saying that, John. John,
Well, I do remember because you said
Chief.
good friend.
Chief
Far
Simmons.
too friendly, Mayor. Far too friendly.
Far too friendly. Because to quote your last running mate,
What?
Mayor,
John, your name and address.
Sewell 22 West Drive. Okay? To have this dubious accountancy firm here and not be able to ask any questions, you are depriving Arthur his entitled 3 minutes. And I'm asking you to grant that. Because this man,
Not granted, John. He'll have his opportunity in 5 minutes.
if you people want to mention the budget and have this man here,
John, I don't remember you being able to make the rules. Okay?
I'm not making the rules, I'm just explaining the ground rules upon which we've had traditional input. And to deprive Arthur this opportunity to speak is improper, incorrect.
Mayor,
Thank you.
we're not depriving him, John, please, we're not depriving him. He's gonna have an opportunity when the budget is presented.
He should have two opportunities. I don't mind this 3-minute game. It's 2 minutes, 12 seconds, Mayor. But there should be an entitlement for Arthur to speak. If Arthur has something to say, it should be heard.
It will be
It
heard.
will be
No.
heard.
Not within a 3-minute context, because this issue is an ongoing issue that is not addressed and not corrected, and people are not happy about it. I know the mayor says the senior citizens don't complain, but they do
John, I
complain.
never said that.
Mayor, I'm not here to
John,
argue
please
with you.
don't quote me when you know that's not true. Okay. Now, John, please sit down where we're going to sit. Thank you. Is there any other public comment?
Yeah, how you doing? My name's Angelo Sika. I live at 300 North Wilson. I'm just adding some more to what Brian said about the flooding. He's right, it's getting worse and worse. Every year, I have to change the bushes around my house. I try to make my house look nice because I love where I live. I want it to look nice. Every year, I'm changing bushes. It's getting expensive. We've got to do something about those flex valves, those tied flex valves. So I'm just asking, almost begging, let's get this looked at as soon as we possibly can.
Thank you, Angelo.
Okay.
We will.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Steve Warner, 103 North Sumner Avenue. I'd like to speak about the flex valves too. The one resident that spoke earlier said that he had a friend that could get the valves for $800 or something. Possibly that's a little low, but I'd like to see some other prices. I mean, just for...
Can I address that?
You may answer.
Okay. Whenever we spend any money over the bid threshold, we have to request 3 quotes.
Okay.
So we don't have carte blanche to just go pay somebody for something. So anytime it's over, actually it's over $1,000, we have to make sure that they pay prevailing wage, and we have to get 3 quotes.
Well, prevailing wages. You know,
Okay.
that's a bunch of junk. In any case, I would still like to have the resident's friend to present a bid.
We're just welcome to that, absolutely. Any other public comment?
Hello, I'm John Lombardi. I live across the street from Angelo, on the corner of Harding and Amherst. Anyway, I'm here with regard to the check valves as well. I mean, I'm affected by 215 North Harding. Same thing. I mean, we go through this every time this flooding. I keep records of it. The National Weather Service comes out with the coastal flood watches. You have to be vigilant. Anything over 7 foot, and that water's going to come down Wilson and right down Amherst and then right down Harding. So I just wanted to add comment to that. May I ask you one other question about easements? I have an electric company easement on the property, and there's high voltage lines up top. They come along, I don't know, a couple weeks ago and put up this monstrosity of like a substation. I think it's a failover point, and there's a whole bunch of transformers. Looks like something from the Outer Limits. I mean, they didn't even ask. They just put this stuff up. I mean, that sound right to you? Anybody know?
I know they were changing some of them in the city. Now, do they by law have to notify the homeowner?
Well, most of your properties are affected by electric company easement.
I mean, I understand
Their equipment on these poles.
right of ways and all that, but this thing's like 20 feet from my house, and there's got to be.
What was the exact address again, John?
215 North Harding.
Oh, fine.
It's right on the corner of Harding and Amherst, but you'll see it if you take a look.
It's in your backyard, right?
No, it's right out in front of my house.
We'll look at it. I'll get back
Yeah.
to you. Okay?
Thanks, I appreciate it.
My pleasure. Anyone else? It's a motion to close public comment.
So moved. You got it.
I second that motion. Johanna?
Mayor Becker,
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Is there a motion to adjourn this meeting?
I'll make the motion to adjourn.
I'll second that motion.
Mayor Becker?
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Meeting is adjourned. We will reconvene in 5 minutes.